Mom.
What?
You do know that I am totally committed to Luke, don't you?
Oh, boy, do I know that.
Good. It's almost like the same kind of commitment I think that you have for Dad.
Hey, that's hitting your poor old gray-haired mother a little below the belt, don't you think, kiddo?
Well, it is true, isn't it?
I don't
do still
know.
love him.
I don't know. The only thing I know for absolutely sure about my life at this point is that I want to take it one day at a time.
Does that include Mr. Castle?
I can't answer that. I don't want to answer that.
I'd really be grateful if you could ask Mr. Castle about that statue.
Consider it done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It might help me find out what happened to Luke.
Now, you got to stop worrying about Luke. I'm not kidding you. I feel in my heart that Luke is alive and well. I believe that.
I wish I could believe that.
I tell you who I'm not too thrilled with right at this moment is Robert Scorpio.
Why?
Because he had you scared to death, telling you that Luke's life was in danger. I thought he was your friend. Why would he do something like that?
I don't know. Robert Scorpio has always been a man of mystery. He's totally involved himself in Luke's life.
Apparently. And it would seem also in yours. I'll bet you, in fact, he has involved himself a bit emotionally, and his jealousy is just showing.
Why would he be jealous?
Why not? After all, you've come from an extremely long line of irresistible women.
Mother, Robert knows that Luke is the only man in my life.
You sure he knows that?
I'm positive. He's just a friend.
Terrific friend. He sure knows what to say to keep you laughing.
I'm sorry. I'm going to try to cheer up, really.
Sure you will. You'll cheer up the minute Luke's face appears in that doorway. And that will happen when Luke is good and ready. Well, I gotta get to work. Luke better show up, or I might just have to dick him.
Listen, Sonny, if you say that Luke is down by the waterfront, why don't we take the place apart, house by house?
What are you going to do? Play the Avon lady, knock on the door? Do you think he's that stupid?
I agree, it's a rotten idea.
You're right. He's not setting out to be caught, and that's not the whole idea behind this murder. He is not setting out to be caught. If he knows, once he knows we're tracking him, he's going to be on the move like a cat, like a shadow. We're never going to see him.
Okay, Sonny, listen. What kind of bait are we going to use to get the tiger in the cage?
We have a bit of bait.
Oh, we do?
We do. A friend, Hutch.
Well, then we're home free. I mean, all we have to do is just stake out that hutch and wait for
Right.
him.
What are you going to do? Stake out the county slammer? Because that's where he is.
You call that bait? Listen,
sure.
Luke wouldn't go within 100 miles of that prison.
Well, perhaps not. Perhaps not. But I think it is worth a trip to the local clink to have a talk to Hutch. I mean, we've got to examine all the possibilities. I don't want Cassie getting his grubby little fingers on him. Not before I do.
Listen, Cassadine could use some very painful methods to get Luke to hand over that Ice Princess kid.
It must be possible within this fly speck on the map to find two people.
Two people?
Yeah,
What do you mean, two people?
Two people. Look, Spencer and that statue aren't our only priorities. There is one James Duval, and I'm pretty sure that he's somewhere in Port Charles.
Yeah, he could be in Paris, he could be in South America.
Right, on the moon, on Mars, in the deli down the street.
You
Look,
name
it's a 50-50 chance. Even an old cynic like you can cope with odds like that.
You want to bet? Never changes, no matter what job I'm on.
Look, we have to look at all the possibilities, O'Reilly. Not just one, two, or three. All of them so far. We have botched it. We have screwed up, kid. I've got to talk to the big man in a minute. I've got a report. What am I going to do? Give him a weather report?
All right,
I
I'll
want
tell
you
you
to find Duval.
Okay, I'll give it a go. But from what I know about Duval, Sonny, he's not the kind of guy to go around playing tag. Now, where's my other shoe? Oh, here it is.
That thing there.
Listen, when he sold out Cassadine, he went underground the moment he got off the bus.
I don't think so. I don't think Alex would let him do that.
Oh, really?
I think she's got him stashed somewhere in a little rabbit warren so that she can keep a beady eye on him.
Yeah.
Now, let's just find out whether he likes this part of the country better than any other part of the country, or the world for that matter.
Well, it could be an Easter egg, but then again, I need the fresh air and the sunshine.
Could also take you back to the cesspools and the sewers, O'Reilly, and I know how you love the cesspools and the sewers. Look, all I want you to do is get out and find Duval. That's not much. I'm not asking much. I could do it myself, but I'm busy.
Okay. Well, you call the shots, Sonny, and that's what I'm here for. By the way, where's my hat? You see my hat? Now, easy with it. That's a good hat. That's a good
It's
hat.
dangerous.
All right, I know it's dangerous. Now, listen, I want to tell you something. I want you to take good care of yourself.
Just keep out of the bars and keep in contact.
I will. Ah, you really do care, don't you, kid?
Yes, I do. You good sweetheart, you.
Bye, kid. Take it easy.
CK8. CK8. Agent. Contact.
Alex, where in blazes have you been?
Edward, would you please lower your voice?
We're going to talk if I have to lock us up in a closet.
I am much too tired for any of your interrogations.
You're tired. I have been waiting up all night for you to come home. For all I know, something terrible could have happened to you.
Well, personally, I would be a little more concerned about Luke Spencer and if something terrible happened to him.
Didn't you make contact with him?
Do you see a smile on my face? He didn't even bother to pick up the money.
Well, what happened? Didn't you wait for him at the appointed place?
Well, of course I waited for him. He just didn't show up.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, Alex, we really are in trouble.
More trouble than you realize.
Yet I had a feeling that he wouldn't show up there. God, it's getting so that I don't know who I can trust anymore.
Oh, well, does that include me?
That includes the postman, the paper boy, just about anybody else you can think of. Alex, now, you sure it was clearly understood where you were supposed to meet?
Edward, it was very clearly understood. Now, there was absolutely no room for error.
Well, no use trying to ignore this. $250,000 fortune just about ready to get down the drain.
I'm afraid there's much more, Edward.
What else could happen that could make things any worse?
Anthony Cassadine.
What? You saw him?
Mm-hmm. I waited in the warehouse until dawn for Luke, and then when I thought I heard him arriving, it was Anthony Cassadine.
What did he say? What did he do?
Well, he did his usual little cat and mouse game, trying to intimidate me.
Alex, will you please be specific?
He said that Luke Spencer sold us out.
And you believed him?
Well, either he is telling the truth or Luke Spencer is dead.
Will you stop these wild speculations?
They're not wild speculations. Now, if he is not dead, that means he is in a great deal of danger.
Well, this whole thing has just turned into a total disaster. There's no way out. We've lost.
No. No, not yet. I think I was able to bluff him. I think I was able to make him think that I was in still control of the situation.
I think it's highly improbable that anybody could bluff Cassadine.
Well, we're just going to have to be a little more careful with our planning from now on.
What planning? We've lost the Ice Princess. In all likelihood, it's out of our grasp forever.
Now, Edward, we don't know anything for sure until we've seen Luke Spencer.
That's small comfort. Oh, Alex. What if Cassadine is right? What if we have misjudged Luke and he sold us out?
How could Luke have sold you out? And what were the stakes, if I may ask? Well, which of the two of you is going to tell me what you're talking about?
Alan, do you always have to think that everything is so sinister?
Well, it's a conditioning of mine. And a growing awareness of self-preservation.
Well, how absolutely fascinating, Alan. But I'm afraid I have to leave and take care of some rather important business.
Stay, Alex. Please stay. I really want my father to hear about our situation.
What situation?
Well, your beloved concern over me. Now, do you want to tell him, or shall I?
Don't call my bluff, Alan.
Call it? I'm going to end it once and for all.
Somebody please translate this into a language that I can understand.
Dad, I'm going to spare you for all the sordid details. Alex has something over my head that she is holding there. It is commonly known as blackmail.
Blackmail? What in thunder are you talking about, Alan?
I'm conducting a private life on the side, Dad. Now, I'm sure that you know that my marriage to Monica's a disaster. You know and you understand. Now, either Alex disapproves of my conduct or she's chosen to take advantage of it.
How tedious, Alan.
You're tedious, Alex. But we're going to end it here and now.
Will you get to the point, Alan?
My dear cousin doesn't seem to realize that we Quartermain men have a code of honor between us. That you already know about the affair that I'm having and that you've chosen to ignore it as long as I'm discreet.
Yes, yes, I know all about that. What does that have to do with Alex?
She doesn't know how to distinguish between a personal affair and a financial affair. And that in this family, they are separate and distinct categories. At least they always have been. Now, have the rules changed, Dad?
Absolutely not. They never will change.
Then would you be so kind as to express that sentiment to Alex in a way that she will thoroughly understand it?
Alex, have you been using Alan's affair as a weapon against him?
Can't we find a better time to talk about this?
No, I want to talk about it right now. It's outrageous that you would even consider using such a weapon against a member of your own family. Alan has just as much right to privacy as you or I or anybody else who carries the Quartermain name. Business and pleasure do not mix.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to hear that. Well, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to finish dressing, which should give the two of you enough time to put your heads together and come up with a story that I am going to believe about this family's financial affairs. Oh, and by the way, it came as no surprise to me that Luke Spencer got off with that black statue from the auction. The only thing I really found interesting was how well paid he was for the job. $50,000 is an awful lot of money, Alex. Would that be close?
Well, we thought we had every base covered at the auction.
Then how did Luke Spencer manage to get the Ice Princess?
Well, a bit of genius we hadn't counted on. I mean, a momentary blackout of the lighting, then he grabbed the Ice Princess in the resulting confusion. Quick dash to the dumbwaiter, down into the basement, where he escaped out a window, all done with precision.
Have you traced him yet?
He's disappeared.
Apparently Spencer is more resourceful than you gave him credit.
Well, that's my mistake, and I can assure you that it won't happen again.
There also seems to be a woman involved.
Yes, Laura Webber. She's not aware of any critical information. Luke has kept her in the dark, which is to his credit.
You have the woman under surveillance?
The value to Luke is rather limited. Look, I'm convinced he won't go near her. As long as he feels that he might bring her into any danger.
Remember this. If Luke Spencer is caught by Cassadine, the man will be tortured.
An accepted fact.
He could talk and reveal where he's hidden an object that he must by now realize has much more value than the $50,000 he was offered to obtain it.
Look, we're searching for this guy day and night. I can't do any more.
He's your target. Your only target. You understand?
Look, I'll find him. He doesn't have it. He won't have a chance to pass it on to anybody else or sell it.
If you don't, if Cassadine finds him first, then Luke Spencer must be silenced.
No, look, there are other
Are
ways
you reading me, Scorpio?
Yes, I read.
There's no difficulty with the transmission. It's clear.
Quite clear. Look, I'm sure that I can deal with this situation without having to resort...
If Luke Spencer should fall into the hands of Cassadine, he's to be silenced. That is a firm order, not subject to further discussion. Out!
Look, CK8